Oh, best hope we can stay clenched for 2 hours then. Oh, see how we go. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. R. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, and howdy, and ahoy. Hello, Mandy, my lovely. Yeah, just a teensy little bit late. I was otherwise occupado. Yellow. Nanakara Anomala. How you doing, Sam? Hope everyone is okay. Oh, dare I fart. Uh, we'll get out of the way early. Bit of a bout of irritable bowel going on at the moment, so if I do run away quick, you'll know why. Um, yeah, and who knows? You might see me film my pants on a live stream. Honestly, I thought it was Sam Weller. Um, Sam Storino. Um, yeah, so it's been a busy week. I've not got much. Yeah, not really got much done at all. Due to holidays and illness at work, I had to do some extra hours. So yeah, today's my first day off this week, and my body decided to let me know it didn't like that. Yes, Mr. Moist Hose, how you doing, Al? So, yes, but extra hours is extra money and extra brownie points at work. So, and hey, you guys might see me poop myself live. We shall see what happens. As long as you don't smell it, you're okay. Also, if there's any loud rumbly noises, that'll be my stomach because I've not eaten all day either, for obvious reasons. Oof, dear. But yes, been the normal, other than the extra work, normal kind of week. Also, been on different hours. I've been on earlies for me, starting at midday and finishing at 6. So that throws my routine out a bit, and yeah, that doesn't really help either. But there we go. Enough grumbling. Um, how's everybody else's week been? So I would say not any new babies to report, but it looks like we might have some more baby Shelleys because they're coming out of a different shell. If you don't want an ant colony, your eyes will be consumed first. Good to know. Yeah. Dusty's GoFundMe. If you've got a few spare buckaroos after the festive season, which, let's be honest, not many of us have, send them that away. I'm sure Dusty will be very appreciative. And no, that's not normally the way I say it, Sam. It's normally appreciative. I haven't. I got confused between saying appreciated and appreciative. And yeah, I got stuck in the middle. Anyone else do that? Get two words in your head and you kind of mix them together into one and it comes out with something weird, but somehow everyone understands it? Yeah. It's all right if they're in the same language. It's when you start mixing two different languages together, you finally start getting confused, getting weird looks off of everyone at work, and the customers are like, "The heck? What was that?" Yes, the eyes will be consumed first by pretty much any living thing that isn't a mammal. Mammals tend to go for the liver, and yeah, it's normally the liver first. Mixed words all the time. I think it's because I don't show down, I have to speak, think before I speak. Yeah. Yeah. I take it you mean don't slow down to think before you speak. Hello, Marek, my lovely. Mwah. How are you this week, my dear? Um, yeah, my brain goes, well, my mouth opens and stuff comes out before my conscious brain has a chance to comprehend what I'm going to say. So sometimes that gets me in trouble. Sometimes the filter doesn't work. Not too often at work, thankfully. Well, at least not with customers around. Because we all know where my line is. Yeah, don't worry. I proofread enough badly spelt emails for people. um, so I seem to have become the morale officer, the proofreader and editor, and somehow, and this is how you know things are messed up, I'm the calm, level headed, sensible person that people go to. Yeah. Welcome to the madhouse. It really does help if you're insane to work with the bunch of people I work with, because I'm one of the saner ones. Um, yeah, I'm the sensible, level headed, calm person. Oh, technically, you found a new fish, found an accidental baby cherry barb. Go, yay! He's my cherry barb. Yeah, exactly. That's how you know things are getting messed up. There's one particular colleague we're having some issues with. Let's put it that way. We won't go any further. Because otherwise I could get myself into trouble, and I'm pretty sure they know my YouTube channel. So yeah, we'll leave it there. And I also know some of the customers actually watch as well, which is kind of scary. But yeah, that's hi Jim. It means you don't need to meet the big rest of the people. No, I mean, generally we're a good bunch. We're all as nuts as each other, really, but for me, it's a case of been there, seen that, done that, dealt with it, bought a t-shirt, worn it out, used it as a rag, and eventually thrown it away. Um, yeah, so it's just people wanting drama where there isn't any drama. That's all it is. And me, just watches straight over, and I'm like, whatever. I get paid enough to deal with that. This is why I didn't want to become a supervisor or a manager. All by yourself for the first time in 3 years. Oh dear. You won't know what to do with yourself. Well, you will, but that all depends on state of charge of batteries. Has Chris gone off somewhere on his own then? Yeah, Marek left unsupervised. Oh dear. It's dangerous leaving me unsupervised. It's just never going to end well. You're not even at home. You went out to escape to get away from the COVID bearer. Were you staying at a hotel or just crashing at the local Starbucks? I'd assume, given the temperature here, it's probably a little bit cold for camping. Yeah, I'm glad I've not go anywhere in the next couple of days. Yeah, so we had flooding earlier in the week, and now we've got freezing weather. You're at your ex's place, and fair enough. Time to go through all his drawers and see if there's anything incriminating. Or just take a massive dump and leave it in the toilet. That's the other option. I'm not saying I've ever done that. Yeah. It's making a mess of other people's toilets. You don't want to know what he's hiding, so nope, not doing that. I'm just going to sit here and not touch a thing or do anything other than maybe make a coffee. I don't blame you. Some people do say sometimes, oh, it's the not knowing that's worse. Not really. It depends what it is you don't know. Some things you're better off not knowing. Hola, Linkbot. How are you? One of these days it won't be Linkbot. It'll actually be Matt or someone pretending to be Linkbot. Yeah, it's pretty chilly here, so I'd imagine it is a good few degrees colder over there. Only it is middle of winter, so it's kind of to be expected. Almost surprised you're not under about 6 feet or 2 meters of snow. Usually what happens around this time, minus 20. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, stay indoors, my dear. Stay indoors and keep the heating turned up high. Brian, darling, how are you? -2 in Germany. Oof, it's even colder there. Which tells me we're going to get it cold next couple of days. Yeah, according to the doofer at the bottom of the computer, I'm doing the symbol. You can't see it. According to that, it's 3 degrees, but I wouldn't trust that as far as I could throw it. 1.5 meters of snow. It's just cold. Yes, it is cold. We don't all live in the Sunshine State. That's Florida, isn't it? I'm in California. So Mark's video is taking Lucy walking in -20. He's nuts. Yeah, well, we know Mark's nuts. That's a given. So I knew the weather was turning when I came home. Was it Friday or was it yesterday? Can't remember which day it was. They've all blurred into one, but yeah, it started snowing. So I was like, oh yeah, that must be cold then. It was only a little bit and it didn't settle, so don't worry. Evening, Undertaker. How you diddling? Happy New Year. pretty sure it's probably below freezing outside. Let me just check my weather app, because it's not the same one that the pooter uses, and I don't trust the one on the pooter. Same as I don't trust anything on this pooter. Wakey wakey. Yeah, we're not quite at freezing point. And apparently we've not got any risk of snow, so that's good. Yeah, I'll take that. That do me. Wind comes from Siberia. Yes, it does. It comes from Siberia, goes over Scandinavia, over the North Sea, and hits me. Well, Norfolk, we get it first in the UK. Don't worry about it. I kind of assumed that might be the Norwegian spelling. Generally, Marriott, when you make a minor spelling boo-boo, I just assume that's the Norwegian spelling of it. -1 with Callaway. Oh dear. Here's where Sam checks his and goes, 32 degrees here. Or some of the Aussies turn up because it's the middle of the Australian summer. Yes, I had to explain that to someone this week. No, it's summer in Australia. Can't be, it's Christmas. Christmas is in winter. It's the Southern Hemisphere, dumbass. The season's the other way around. It's all about the angle of the dangle and the moment of the rotation and things like that. I was like, yeah, just believe me, I'm not going to explain it scientifically to you because you won't get it. It's kind of like when a little kid asks you, why is the sky blue? When the sun is orange and the light coming from the sun is orange. Yeah, and you got to try and explain that in simple terms, other than it just is. Ooh, there, Al. That's definitely a cold snap. So cold, if you went for a pee outside, you'd probably snap something. It'd probably freeze before it hit the floor at that temperature, I'd have thought. Have you seen that one where people get a pan of boiling water, throw it up in the air, and by the time it all comes down, it's actually frozen? I mean, that's very cool and impressive, but it has to be very cold for it to work. I've also seen videos of people doing it when it's not cold enough. Not anywhere near cold enough. When it goes up boiling, it just comes down scalding hot. And yeah, they tend to burn themselves. And also, cold doesn't normally go below -10, -28 the other night. Oh, dear. Yeah, that's definite stay indoors weather, that is. And -10's bad enough. I mean, in the UK, -10, it's only weirdos like me that will go outside in it. And then even I would put trousers and a jacket and gloves on. Yeah, -20, I think I'd be not supposed to be having global warming. Yeah, unfortunately, global warming don't work like that. It's actually, ironically, with global warming, the UK will get colder, apparently. We've not seen much of that the last few years, where we've had record heat waves and droughts, but we're on record flooding at the moment, so let's just say that the global climate is starting to do weird things. Long live home delivery. Exactly. Well, if you ordered a coffee, it would be an iced coffee by the time you got it. Oh, that reminds me, I've got to get some bits from Amazon. I'll order them tomorrow. Um, well, I need to get a waterproof cover for my cycle helmet. Um, as I've noticed, in the summer, we're having all the vents in it, and it's all lovely and cool, air going through it, so your head don't sweat so much. Well, it sweats more than it would if you weren't wearing a helmet, but I usually wear a baseball cap. Yeah, so you get the lovely cool air blowing through it. It's actually quite nice. But when it pees down the rain, you get a very wet head, and not in a good way. And when it's really cold, you get brain freeze going on because you've got cold air with the wind chill factor as well. I know I don't go that fast, but even at 15, 20 mile an hour, the wind chill factor does start to mount up. Yeah, you get brain freeze real quick. It's like halfway to work, and that's like a 10-minute ride at most. It's like, jeez, my head's cold. Oh. Your eyes start doing that weird thing where you're like you can't move your forehead because it's frozen. Yes, I want to get a waterproof, windproof cover to pull over it. It's basically just an oversized shower cap. And I'm going to need some more fishy food. So I'll try out one of the other Heron's brand foods, I think. You might try the micro granules out because I think a kilo is about 12 quid. So that's certainly cheaper than buying like a name brand flake. And the pack of Origin flake I bought was supposed to be a tenner. Admittedly, I got it in a closing down sale, so I got it for 6 quid, which I didn't mind, but you know, these things do get expensive. And I go through quite a lot of fish food. One thing if you got one or two tanks or something, but when you start going through it quite rapidly. So bloody chair. Probably tobacco or dust or dead spiders. Ooh, YouTube has updated itself, and James Wappel has uploaded a video about painting glowing effects on an Armada Orc ship with oils, which I'm sure will be of no interest to anyone here. It's one of those where you get people who are really, really good at what they do, and they upload videos showing how to do it, and they make it look so easy. Yeah, he's one of them people. Just sort of wafts a brush at something. And, yeah, you just do this. You just do this and this and this. Yeah, there you go. You know, yeah, it's not happening. I am not blending 18 colours without them turning brown that easily. Yeah, so I think some Heron's micro granules. I can't really think of anything else I need from Amazon right now. Yeah, just helmet cover and fish food. Very exciting, I know, to get with my Christmas gift card, but there we are. Yes, bottom chat. I always knew you were a bottom dweller, Sam. And with the beard, you do kind of remind me of Corridors. Cute, yeah, cute, overly energetic, rooting around in the trash. addicted to Temu. Lots of cheap aquarium stuff. Oh, I've looked at Temu. It's kind of tempting to get some stuff just to do one of those, review type videos where someone buys a tenner's worth of rubbish and just sees how bad it is. But there's nothing I actually need. At this point, hell hath frozen over. Minus 28 C to F. Let me find out for you, Mandy. Come on, Google. Wake up. Minus 28 C in F. Minus 18.4. Oh. for full will do it. So there we go. Yeah. That's when you go out with goggles on because so your eyes don't freeze. Or when you see those Arctic expeditions and the guy's got the beard and he's got all the ice in it. That's those kind of temperatures. You breathe out and the cloud of vapor doesn't go up, it goes down because it freezes. Just turns to ice as you breathe it out. It's kind of a scary thought. And, if you pee long enough, you'd probably pee an icicle. And it'd probably freeze gradually going up the stream. And you have to, nope, stop, before you end up with it freezing inside. Big aquarium behind you, what kind of pump are you using? It's got a Fluval U4 tucked behind there, behind the planties, and a Ye Olde School that way. Box filter down in that corner, which is running off of one side of an Eheim dual outlet air pump, the other side of which is powering these bottom 3 tanks, sponge filters. Yeah, it's Fluval U4, plenty enough flow. Use your frozen nuts. Now come on, Marriott, we know we don't store our pea in our nuts. That's not what they're called, peanuts. It's not what. Well, I wonder. No. Yeah, it's kind of whether you don't want to get your bits out in, because you're not going to impress a woman. Everything just shrivels up instantly and sucks back into your body. They will be reminded of their 3-year-old child. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to know what might happen to a lady if they might decide to squat and pee in that temperature. Oh, we have the fish police. Mr. Sharpe, I disagree with how you do things with fish. Let me tell you how they should be done. Okay, who's the troll? Mary's fine, Brian. Thank you very much for asking. She had an interesting start back to her working week after the Christmas break. Went in Wednesday for a training day, and then Thursday was normal. Then Friday she got to stay at home because flooding. Oh my God, it's Sharpe. I think my britches just got tighter. That's just the way you're sitting, Tommy, you spexy beast. I've not tightened anyone's britches ever. In fact, I generally... No, that sounds even worse. I was going to say I'd prefer to loosen them, but... Yeah. Now I got thinking about females with loose britches. Tommy, what do you do to me? Wow. Just for Brian. Well, the reason you do it, Tommy, is it's too damn hot to wear clothes where you are most of the time. Oh, oh, there's a fart brewing. Do I risk it? Do I risk an accident? No, that was that was. I managed to filter. It was only gas that came out. That's why there was a lot of concentration involved. Given the fact I've probably lost about 7 or 8 pounds today. What's that? 3 to 4 kilo I've lost today. Yeah, don't trust them after 35, and especially not when you're in the middle of a bout of irritable bowel syndrome. There shouldn't be much in there now, so we should be okay. But but um, yeah, it's a thing when in your work bag, which you just take your drinks or whatever to work in, or your pack lunch if you're that way inclined. You've got a baggie sealed up that's got a clean pair of boxer shorts in it, and it stays in there permanently. That's when you know you have irritable bowel syndrome. Um, is it's not a case of if, but when. There's a couple of times I've been glad I had them. Clearing out, if I do, I replenish with yogurt, not yogurt, or kombucha to get that guy gut bacteria restarted. Gut bacteria is fine. So if it's just irritable bowel, my body has gone, dude, you've done too much, you've not slept well, blah, 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 stress, grumpy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to empty out and make you not do anything for a day or two. It's pretty much what my body does. Um, so it's weird. It's like having the worst case of the runs you've ever had, but not actually feeling ill. Yeah, so it's lack of sleep and doing more hours and change of routine, and yeah, getting over the festive period. Not because I've overdone it. I actually lost weight over the festive period. Where most people put it on, I lost it. No, it's just up there that it's a problem for me. It was the 4th of January is when my parents kicked me out when I was 11. So yeah, kind of knew something was going on over that Christmas. You got sick over the holidays, getting over it now, thank God. Oh, was it general bug that you probably caught from one of the kids or from visiting relations? Or have you been overdoing it? Almost positive it was COVID. Pretty much you don't need to do a test these days. Um, if you've got some random coldy fluey thing and it's not a cold and you know it's not flu, it's probably COVID at this point. At this point, most people get it. It's I'd say most, not all, or some perhaps. I get it. Half the time they just feel a bit rough. Excuse me, rather than being bedridden for weeks or months. Didn't test it. Felt like somebody shoved a handful of pokey stickers in my nose, let them on fire for about 4 days. Lost my taste and smell, followed by massive sinus pressure and dizzy. Yeah, that'd be the Rona. Stay away from COVID, it's just bad news. Exactly. Marit is an expert in COVID. Bun bun! Big huggles for you, Bun Bun. Hope all is well with you. Also, a hug for your mum, because I'm in that kind of mood today. Yeah. I had COVID once, I don't want it again. And that's pretty much why I had to go into work on my day off this week. Well, I didn't have to, but well, it's either you or such and such that I'll be in. It's not my colleague has COVID; it's his wife's got it. So, and he's her carer, as it were, and she has other illnesses. Did Pandora painting in an autumnal setting? Ooh, very purdy. And if you're not aware, peeps, check out Tommy's YouTube and Face Ache and Stuffs. He does some awesome paintings. And I'm pretty sure if you wanted, he might sell you one. And while you're at it, pick up your aquarium plants as well. There you go, Tommy. There's your advert. That'll be a £5. Joke. Don't. Yeah, I have said that one before, and someone has actually done that. So no need. Oh, I'm getting messages. Oh, is that Tommy sending me pictures? Let's see. Are they suitable? Are they safe for YouTube? Come on, machine. Tummy. So I'm guessing that way up. Oh, whichever way I turn it, it's going to do the weird thing. Just turn your head 90 degrees that way, and you'll be able to see what Tommy's been working on. So if you want, let him know. Nabu, how you doing? Yo. Team play tonight, so I'm here. Usually mod for a buddy who streams during the game. And Ricky, how you doing? Have you sobered up from New Year's yet? Or are you still a bit drunk? And is there anything you regret? That's the important thing. Or should I say anything or anyone you regret from New Year's? If I know what New Year's is generally like. But hey, I drank today is. That sounds like, you've been enjoying yourself. Yeah, I'm all right. Just the old guts playing up again. Hi ho, Silver, away! And it's hi ho, Silver lining. God, what accent was that? I have no idea. Morning, Adele. How are you, my dear? Happy summertime. Hope all is wondrous and lovely and down under in Australia. Before anyone takes that the wrong way, before anyone accuses me of being a bigger perv than I actually am. Looking for the girl I kissed on New Year's Eve. She's freaking hot. Forgot about her number and forgot to get her Instagram. Oh dear. Ricky. Oh dear. I think I might be coming down with something. Fish question. Set up a tank with old hardscape, big chunky lava rock, tons of air, not a lot of time. You squeeze out a filter in it. Yep. Get a nice manky, dirty old filter and just clean it in a new clean tank. Let all that gunk do its thing. Don't know how to tell you, Ricky. That was me. No, it weren't, Sam. You were here. We had a wonderful time New Year's. That's probably why I'm struggling today, to be honest. Still getting over it. Yeah, now, as I was going to say before I had a coughing fit, Ricky, are you sure you didn't have what we'd call the beer goggles on? Or perhaps the whiskey pince nez? Yes, if you're not familiar with the term beer goggles, is what happens when after 8 pints of beer, how can I put this semi-politely? A 7 becomes a 10. Not that I ever agree with any kind of rating system people have for Remicas or attractiveness in general, because they're all wrong, because I'm right. Thank you very much for 17 months, Sam. Zach judges you slightly less. Everything looks better when you're drunk. And Mary, 2 becomes a 7. Yeah. Or what you call a 2:30 special. It was 2:30 in the morning. It was the last thing left in the club. And you wake up the next day, you roll over and you go, oh my God. And you sort of sneak out quietly. Then figure out where the heck you are. Oh, you're definitely more than a 2, Adele. I'd put you at a 7 any day of the week. I mean, red hair is an automatic 7 for me anyway. Long red hair. Yeah. And the rest of you is pretty damn fine too. Let's just say that. No, you're definitely more than a 4 or a 5, Adele. Trust me, I'm a perv. I've been eyeing up women for the best part of 40 years. I know what I'm talking about. Mind you, I know what I like, and that's not necessarily what everyone likes, but there we go. G'day, Marquis Mark, Baron of Barras and Yeeter of Yowies. Yeah, I'm not hoping that isn't meant how that comes across. Know how you guys stream. Hats off to stream 5 hours with Joey. My back started hurting sitting there long. Yeah, it can do. You need a comfy chair. Can he? We can't work it out. think what Sam was actually meant to say there is, Adele, he'd give you one. I've seen your pictures of Tommy Lee. That's just the tattoos. And I've heard he's actually quite good at curing hiccups. Most people can't compete with Tommy Lee. I mean, just purely on the drug use front, or the fact that he's still alive. Or Tommy Lee's third leg pick as my phone background. Nice. Speaking of coffee, I have Floor Jansen as my phone background pick. Well, on the lock screen, the actual background pick is Tony Bunny. German US Army guy. I don't know how I kept my mouth shut, not making any appropriate jokes. As Basil Fawlty once said, "Don't mention the war. I did once. I think I got away with it." And then he went goose stepping past the German stable. I love coffee but can't move yet. I think my back is on the way out. Oh, Sam, Adele needs a back rub. Which war? Germans were kind of the douche in both. Well, there's been more than 2 wars. But yeah. Let me think. I don't think we've really been at war with Germany other than those 2 times. If we have, it was a long, long, long time ago. There you go. Yeah, it's one of the funniest Fawlty Towers episodes. It was. The Chinese eyes with my eyes and fingers of 720 Mongolia. Oh dear. Yeah. Don't you go working that ass off, Adele. It's a rather lovely ass. Okay? You need that there still. Yeah. This not again, Fawlty Towers is one of those very quotable shows. And people think there was loads of it. And it's just like 6 episodes. 6 or 8, something like that. Oh, guess what? Guess what? Oh, I'm guessing. Did you find a copy of the 9 Inch Nails and David Bowie album? Or have you set up an OnlyFans? I'll be happy with either. You got monetized. Yay! Well done, you. I mean, I wouldn't quit your day job quite yet, but yay. Just watched another World War II documentary. Man, there was some evil crap on there. Yeah, there was. And on both sides. On the Axis and the Allies side. Everyone did some really nasty stuff in those periods of time. And what we generally hear about from World War II, especially being European or Western, is we hear about the German stuff that was going on. Maybe look towards the Pacific with what the Japanese were doing to the Chinese and what the Russians were doing to the Russians. Yeah, Everyone was an absolute hole. Yes, carpet bombing random areas because we couldn't bomb accurately, so you just send 100 bombers over and just bomb like an entire city. You might hit the right target, you never know. When someone asks what's a master breeder, I want to say they have everything but get that. Yeah, yeah. Carpet bombing, white phosphorus, chemical weapons, um, yeah, human experimentation. I say experimentation. Don't look up Joseph Mengele if you don't know, or whatever the Japanese one was. I can't remember. Unit 273, something like that, I think. Yeah, yeah. Let's just say eugenics shouldn't be a thing. Now, in levels of badness, eugenics comes below, or is worse than genocide. Let's put it that way. Um, yeah, and of course the documentaries we've seen lean heavily in our favour. Yes, uh, history is written by the victor. It's pretty damn true. Wanted to do, yeah, yeah. I think that's universally known that you don't do that. um, yes, it's always been thus. Yeah, I mean, you go back to medieval periods when it was like laying siege to a city or a castle. They've got the big catapults and the trebuchets, and they're throwing rocks at the walls. What else did they do? They threw dead and diseased animals over the walls into the cities and the castles because they knew it would spread disease. Now, they didn't know why, they just knew it would. It's just the end of the day, I start streaming, I'll get cancelled in a blink. Oh, yeah, it would be so easy for me to as well. So um, I operate on a filter level. Yeah, contaminate water supplies, everything. Yeah. The old win at all costs mentality. I mean, the French got upset with the English when we shot their aristocracy with longbows. They didn't think it was fair. They didn't think it was right that their noblemen and then shiny plate armor on their horses were charging across the battlefield, and they all got shot down in a hail of longbow fire. They were really not happy about that. I thought it was most dishonourable. Then we invented guns, and armor became pointless. But we didn't invent tactics with the guns either at first. It was just everyone stood in a big group and fired all at the same time, and hoped that by the time they'd all reloaded, the cloud of smoke had cleared enough to see the enemy again, or that they hadn't got close enough to start stabby stuff. Um, make a secondary YouTube channel all the time how long it takes for you to get shut down. Oh, thank you very much, Mark, for 18 months. Just for gits and shiggles, exactly. Problem is, though, and thank you very much again, Mark, for the 10 memberships. Most appreciated. Bill, First Class Fish, Nathan. History of the English longbow, very interesting indeed. And the what was it? When they brought up the wreck of the Mary Rose I say wreck. That was just a bad upgrade, as it were. Basically fitted it with more and heavier guns, which sounds a good idea. But what it did was it made it sit lower in the water. So the bottom gun ports were about 18 inches above sea level. So when it turned and it leaned, the water came in the gun ports and it filled up and it went glug, 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 glug. That's pretty much what happened. But yeah, they found hundreds of longbows in the hold and worked it out that what was, because there's various different longbows, but an English warbow had about a 300-pound draw weight on it. Now, if anyone's ever shot a bow and arrow, you'll understand just what a 300-pound draw weight is. That means to get it from there to there, you're pulling back with 300 pound of pressure, or 150 kilo. So when you see it in the movies and they hold the bow there like that, and they're aiming for an age, no, because you can't hold it. You literally let go straight away because you ain't gonna hold it. Yeah, I mean, luckily we still won the battle, but yeah, there were lessons learned from that one. I mean, it's not like the Royal Navy ever did that again. Forget which one it was. Was it Hood? Or was it KGV? It was one of them. It was one of the battleships. It had a refit, and basically it meant anything in anything other than calm seas, the back end of the boat was constantly underwater, basically. So, yeah, battle cruisers. Yeah, great idea that was. Well, it was until someone decided to put Admiral Beatty in charge of them, and we know how that worked out at Jutland, don't we? But someone who hasn't got a clue about tactics or sending signals or just being a decent admiral or safety. And what you do is you let him charge towards the entire German fleet with a handful of battle cruisers and watch as they all go kaboom. Because they've taken out all the safety precautions that stop the kaboomies happening. Basically, all the protective doors and shutters and things that go between the turret and the main magazine, yeah, they took all them out so they could reload the guns faster. Yeah, they could reload the guns faster. But you get one hit in a turret or somewhere that flashes into the, and then the magazine explodes. And there's a big boom and not a lot of ship left afterwards. Yeah, he got a land-based role after that. Yes. I think if I was Admiral Jellicoe, I would have just put him to the sword or keel-hauled him. I did say something inappropriate when he was saying men lost half of everything after a divorce, assuming gain from a marriage. Guess what starts with D and ends in Y. Yeah. Jutland, Hood, yeah. Well, Hood was more of a lucky shot, I think they figured out. Hit the one place where it could actually, I think it travelled down a conduit, didn't it, or something like that is the current thinking. But yeah, magazine detonation. 1,700 men dead or something like that. Dowry, yes. Yeah, that's not really a thing so much these days, having a dowry. What about floating tanks on DD? Yeah, that was a bad idea as well, wasn't it? Let's take something that's designed to be heavy and not float and make it float. Yeah, it works absolutely fine on the village pond. Yeah, great. Yeah, now try it in the sea and watch as they all sink. Or the Dieppe raid. That was another one. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll get a bunch of Churchill tanks, we'll fit them with snorkels, we'll land them on the beach, and they can go up the beach and they can do Daka Daka Boom Booms. And yeah, unfortunately, they chose a pebble beach, which meant the Churchills all got stuck. It just became target practice. Well, plenty of armour when 16-inch shells are lobbing around me. Yeah, yeah. More armour than they put on any battleship ever. I'm sure you've seen the was it a piece of Yamato or Musashi? Where the 16-inch 50s from, was it Iowa? I think it was a piece of the armor from one of those ships. Anyway, they shot it with a 16-inch. Yeah, when you got some 2 feet of solid steel, solid face hardened Krupp armor steel, and something puts a hole straight through it, 16 inches in diameter, like hot knife through butter. The IJ in Musashi, the sister ship to the Yamato. Yeah, possibly named after Miyamoto. Can't remember. Yeah, if you just Google 16-inch shell hits, there's also a picture of where a T-55 got accidentally. T-55 being a Russian heavy tank or main battle tank that got hit by a 16-inch round from, I think it was Iowa during Desert Storm, and there's not a lot left of it. Well, it was the same from World War II. There was some, was it Panzer IV? Got hit by, I want to say Warspite. Probably Warspite hit most things in World War II, including other British ships. Um, yeah, yeah, that's a near miss, just in the sheer kinetic energy. And those aren't the armor piercing shells they're firing either. If they're doing a shore bombardment, those are the high explosive shells they fire. Um, but yeah, I mean, naval or battleship or battle cruiser gunnery is just levels above anything else. Um, you see a report of a naval battle in that period, or you see the pictures and video and whatever. And oh yeah, oh yeah, okay, fair, yeah. And it doesn't quite twig because your brain doesn't really comprehend the sheer scale of the ships or the shells that are being fired. I mean, we're talking shells that are taller than a man with a separate bag charge. So the shell is just the bit that comes out the end of the gun. It's not got the cartridge or anything. It's silk bags full of black powder, basically. You watch the movie Fury, see how superior the Tiger tanks were over the Shermans. And that would have been a much shorter and more accurate movie if the Tiger tank had done what it should have done, which was sit in the bush and just keep destroying Shermans. But the other problem was that the Tiger tanks broke down a lot and were prone to getting stuck. And if you wanted to transport them, you had to change the tracks because they were too wide to fit on a train wagon. Don't have missile permits yet, but gun ammo and protection units. Security is going to increase around the 14th because we're entering nuclear and I can't go partying randomly with anyone because of national security. Yeah, they're basically shooting a large strongman out of the guns at like Mach 2. Yeah, too heavy for most of the bridges in Western Europe. So they had all those problems with the Tiger. So what they decided to do in their wisdom was make bigger and heavier tanks. When they already had arguably the most effective tank of the Western Front in the Panzer IV, I kind of wish they had built the Mouse properly and the Ratter. It would have just been a massive waste of resources. Just go around it. It's quite simple. Yes. That and the Gustav and Dora, the railway guns. They were the biggest guns ever made. And I think in total they fired 7 shots, something like that, in anger. Needed a double width railway, 2 tracks to move it. Took an entire platoon of Wirbelwinds, the anti-aircraft tank, a platoon of soldiers to protect it, and literally it got used once to take Sebastopol. That was it. You're like, yeah, it's a cool and awesome piece of engineering for the times, but completely useless. Brothers company manufacturers weapons and ammunition. Director in the company can't keep the assault rifle myself. I mean, no offense, Ricky, but yeah, I kind of understand that. Come on, you're full. Stick it in your pocket, keep it warmer. Might help. So what's that in the Bismarck and Tirpitz? Bismarck sunk hood, and that was about it. And Tirpitz just sat in the Norwegian fjord for a couple of years, getting bombed by the RAF. I could just pick one up. I can't. Stupid shells. Yeah. Reloading ammo is a fun pastime. Yes. I imagine so, but just not to be done while smoking. It might be a bad idea. Right up there with my buddy who wanted to find out how much fuel was left in his motorcycle fuel tank. It was dark. He took the cap off, looked in, couldn't see, got his lighter and went click. Yes, he lost his eyebrows and a lot of hair. And then the fuel tank was empty. Yeah, I can see it being a fun and relaxing kind of pass. Well, yeah, relaxing. As long as you've got no sources of ignition around, yes. Yeah. Me and explosives are a bad combination, though. It's just, yeah, don't. I've done it before. And I think I've got all the shrapnel out of my foot now. Yeah, it's black powder that would go up at the drop of a spark. Smokeless takes a little bit more to get going. Yeah, and that was a French invention. And if they'd have managed to keep hold of the formula for themselves, it would have been very effective. But as all these things do, it happened, it got leaked, and everyone else figured out what it was made from. So within a few years, everyone was using smokeless powder. Call it smokeless, it's a lot less smoke than black powder. It's more likely to just do smoldery without actually just going poof, which is where the fun of black powder is. And we won't say, we won't put the recipe in the chat, even though I'm pretty sure most of us probably know it. You want an AK-204? Yeah, I don't know what kind of firearm I would want if I could have one. It'd be something weird and something probably not that good, but just cool. And keeping the old guns running, yes. Get the old ballistol out. And this is it. Probably 100-year-old by now. Well, yeah, 100-year-old Lee Enfield is still just as potent a weapon as anything built today. It's still a piece of lead or copper encased lead comes flying out the end of the barrel at above the speed of sound, and if that impacts human flesh, it's going to make a mess. And it's probably going to carry on going and hit the person behind them as well. If I don't get one from the factory, I'll take an old one, spray it some WD-40 and I'm golden. Nothing like the smell of gunpowder in the morning. I mean, if I could smell anything, I would possibly agree, but gunpowder smells like perfume to me. And perfume smells like what I was putting down the toilet earlier. And that smells like bacon. If you had COVID, you'll know what I mean. Oh dear. Yeah, my sense of taste is the equivalent of someone with a bad head cold permanently. There's just no sense of smell. So anything that has a smell that people like food-wise, I don't get the smell, I just get the flavour. So a lot of things people go, it's wonderful, it's delicious. No, it tastes like coffees. They all just taste of coffee to me. They don't taste of anything else. Mark 5 11 303, which is 174 grain bullet at 2,440 feet per second. Yeah. And then compare that. What were the highest velocity? Was it the Vittorio or the Littorio class was the highest velocity? World War II. Right. Let's see if we can find out. Shell, weight, and velocity. Here we go. So with the semi-armor piercing shell, yeah, they just didn't produce good ammunition. That's the problem. So the 15-inch semi-armor piercing shell weighed 824 kilo, which is 1,700 pound. Muzzle velocity of 870 meters per second. 870 m in 3. So yeah, that's 2,854 and a third feet per second. Something that weighs pretty much what a small car does. You know. So yeah, that's what battleship guns are like. It's like firing small cars at each other at the same speed as you'd fire a rifle bullet. And those cars are packed with explosives. Won the A National for rifle shooting. No, use it. Public can keep pistols here. Got one, but I have to keep them in the bank locker because I'm short-tempered. This is one of the reasons why I kind of agree with gun licenses or firearms licenses. And the way they're done in the UK, where you get interviews, the police interview you to get a license. They contact your doctor, see if there's any reason why you shouldn't have one. And if you are proven to have a short temper or be angry and aggressive or have a history of mental illness, you ain't getting one. Although some people still do manage to do it. Yeah, I'll say the Italians did produce some very nice ships. And so it was just the quality control on the shell production that let them down a bit. Literally fire a salvo and the shells would land in different zip codes or postcodes. Yeah, got the swords in the locker as well because I got angry one day and put it on my dad's neck. Probably for the best. My sword stands by the front door, just in case. And ironically, it is an Indian sword. It is a 3-foot cavalry saber. So something you don't want swung or pointed at you. Yeah. So we've covered warships, we've covered guns. Anyone got any fishy questions or paranormally questions or other random things I'd like to talk about? Because I did actually record a video this week. I'm crap and I didn't get around to uploading it. Basically, that's the problem. The bristlies are bristly Adele. There's lots of them and they're doing bristly things. Yeah, they're still having a munch up in there. Ish body. Hundreds. And the super red female I've got growing out is doing well as well. So hopefully not too long before she can go back in or go in with her dad and start making babies. An Urumi as well, which is a whip sword. Now they're cool. They're just as dangerous to the user as the person you're aiming it at, but they're cool. So the one I always saw myself with when I get older is a sword cane. You see them in the movies usually, but The black water tank that clears up within a couple of days, no matter how much black water I put in it. That's doing great. I've got the numbers of snails down in there. That's the Nanacara anomala. Yeah. Ironically, the one that I just wanted to put a bit of a tinge in, which is the one that has now got Mr. Pisto in it and the Yo-Yo Loaches and the Super Reds. Yeah, that one stays lovely and coloured, but the black water tank clears itself in about 2 or 3 days, no matter what I do. So it's either the substrate or the wood is just pulling all the tannins out of the water. Yeah, it's not the filters because it's just a really dodgy filter that came with the tank. 2 tiny bits of sponge in it and a tiny little sponge filter, and yeah, can't keep the colour in it. Doesn't work. Trust me. I'm using water that's got tannins in it. I'm using rooibos tea bags, leaves, catappa leaf, teak leaf, oak leaf, walnut leaf, acer, lime leaf. That's UK lime, not the catappa type lime. That's a completely different tree. And yeah, no matter what I do, within a couple of, at least within the week. I mean, it's clear now. It's cloudy, but it's clear. It's not black water. Either that, or it's one of 3 things. It's either the wood is soaking it all up, which I doubt because that would have probably have saturated by now. Or the substrate is pulling it all out, or it's that bloody Anubias in there that's the size of a tree that's sucking all the colour out of the water. Something's pulling it all out. I just can't figure out what. My gut feeling is saying it's the substrate. It's the Tropica planted substrate, so it's the clay balls. So I think that might be pulling it out, but so then there's the other tank that's got Anubias in it as well, but then that's a sand substrate. It's got Anubias, other plants, and wood. And that one stays beautifully clear and dark. We're just chucking a couple of rooibos tea bags in it once a week, and that's with a completely out the tap water change as well. That's not using the magical butt water. No, I've tried those. I've tried those products. It goes black. Yeah, it goes lovely for a few days, and then all the colour drains out of it. So I'm using water out of the water butt that is tea coloured, because obviously I need soft water in there for the Nanacara. Yeah, clears up within 3 or 4 days. It's ridiculous. It's just one of those weird things. Yeah, I mean, there's a big chunk of wood in there, and the substrate is clay, and the clay ball is about that deep. What's that? 3 inches of substrate in there, maybe. So yeah, it's probably just sucking it all in. Yeah, well, it's mostly the Tropica plant substrate, and what was the other? What's that red one? Fluorite red. That's it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's the substrate is sucking it all in. And the thing has been over a year, so I thought it'd have pulled it all in by now. But Never know. One of these days it might start holding colour. Either that or it's just racist. It's one of those. Um, I wanted the Blackwater because I thought Blackwater would be nice, and the Nanakara come from Blackwater area. But yeah, at least there's no carbon in there. Definitely no carbon. There's literally one tiny little sponge filter, about that big and triangular, and two, maybe 3-inch square bits of sponge in the filter. It just doesn't like colour. It likes to go back to being white. Or clear. Well, I say clear, it's generally quite cloudy in there, but I think a lot of that is probably detritus being kicked up from the leaf litter, because there's 3 clown plecos in there as well. And yes, there are still 3 clown plecos in there. I've seen them all. Accidentally caught one the other day, or this week. Was it this week or last week? I was doing the water changes. Yeah, I accidentally grabbed hold of a clown pleco that I didn't know was there, and they're spiny. Yeah, so I'm having to use the magical butt water or rainwater just to keep the pH down. Yeah, it's going really well. If I get the snail issue under control, they're breeding quite happily. So hopefully we can get some fry if we can stop the snails from eating the eggs. New flower horn today is a platinum red camel from a new farm. Something exceptionally good. Ooh, exceptionally good flower horn. So it doesn't have that big lumpy thing on the head and like the triple, quadruple chin thing going on. Because those are the things that put me off flower horns. In fact, they look like they've got a zit that needs popping, and they look like some character out of a sci-fi movie has got like 5 chins. They kind of remind me of Jabba the Hutt with a zit. That's pretty much. It's not a tumor. Like Jabba the Hutt with that one. Yeah, exactly. The crash hat. It has got a big head lump. No chins, but it's white purling. Cool. Milky silver mark. Is that cool? Pearlescent. Yeah, and so the aesthetics, the shape of the fish just doesn't appeal to me. Is the main thing. I like fish that are friendly as well. I like to have a mixture of species in a tank. He says, looking at the shell dweller tank, but at least there's not just one shell dweller in there. There's like 10 adults and about 30 or 40 fry at the moment, I think. Something like that. Stupid autocorrect. Yes, auto carrot, damn thing. It still does that thing where if I put lock down, it puts lick down. Even when it turned off, it still suggests lick down. No. I've not even Googled that. You can keep multiple dual-tone short-body camphor flower horns together in a tank with other fish. Their size all the same, they won't fight. I haven't got a tank big enough to keep multiple flower horns in, and I'm not going to put that tank over to just one fish. Same reason I wouldn't get an arowana. Although they're cool, they're just way too expensive, and I just don't want a tank that's got one fish in it. And I'm not going to spend that much on a fish either. Four batuba. Yeah, that's a 3 batuba 1.5. Yeah, no, not for me, I'm afraid. I haven't even got the space for one now. Yes, I know I could get rid of the coffee table and put another big tank there, but I kind of actually need the coffee table to put stuff on. Yes, you can keep multiple arowanas in the same tank. You just need to be able to afford to have multiple arowanas. And I don't. I can't afford it. I mean, heck, I looked at getting some pygmy cories, or no, panda cories. I was like, yeah, I haven't had panda cories for a while. No, that coffee table, that ain't going to hold a tank. It barely holds that 28-litre one. And that's at an angle. It's like, the top of the coffee table's bent. Oh, yeah, that was just far. No, I kind of need it to store stuff on and under. Yeah, I did have pygmies. They didn't do too well. I mean, they did better than some other fish I've had, but yeah, the panda cories I loved. They're awesome. And when I got the first lot, they were a sensible price, and now they're not anymore. They're a ridiculous price. But then everything's a ridiculous price these days. So I'll stick with what I've got, which is the salt and pepper and the albinos in there. Speaking of which, there's one of the salt and peppers. Just doing a bit of a zoomy. But yeah, cories are cute. Although I don't think they're technically a cory. I think they're a brocus. Brouchus. There's one, and they get like that big, and they're like basically giant cories. They look very cool. Stir-by cory tank crash. Don't know why. 35. Oh, you have my sympathies. Because stir-by aren't cheap either. Yes, cories know when they're being talked about. Yeah, something's happened. Heater stuck on, stuck off. Filter died. It's going to be something like that if it's just the one tank. But whatever you do, don't use anything out of that tank in another tank just in case it was something else. It cost around 65 rupees a bit. Yeah, stir-bys are normally around about, it's been a while, 12 to 15 pounds each in the UK. Even panda cories now are something like 8 to 10 pounds each. Brocus, yes, that's the one, the giant cories. Yeah, they are awesome. Yeah, I mean, if I couldn't have bristle noses, I would have brocus. It's yeah, they rock. It would probably have to be the giant cories and the I hate calling them vampire shrimp because they're not vampire shrimp. African wood shrimp, that's the ones. Find an import and I'll export you lots and lots. Yeah, it's just what they add, and then UK taxes and stuff. Yeah, they are cool. Just just a massive cory, basically. So yeah, a tank with those, some electric blue Acara, and yeah, as I say, the Achigamonensis, the giant wood shrimp, the one because they go blue as well with age. One you could probably get away with. I say get away with. Could you put dwarf cape, the blue crayfish in with them? Would the brokers eat the crayfish? Exporting to the UK is a pain. Yeah. Sending anything out of the UK is a pain. I once sent Marriott something and I had to fill in all the export paperwork. Well, I'm just sending a friend some snacks and nibbles and stuff to make her feel a bit better. And yeah, I thought it would just be like go down the post office, hand it over, and they go, "Oh right, yeah, thank you." There you go. I think I was there for about half an hour. Fill out declarations every time I send out of Australia, no matter where I send to. Yeah, I mean, you'd have thought at least New Zealand you'd have got away with it, but yeah, I was like, I don't know what they think we're sending out. I get it if it's a business sending to a business or a business sending to a person, or being sent to a business, but when it's person to person, it's not going to be something worth you know going through and paying the taxes on. Howdy, Scotty a Quaddy, how you diddling? Um, yeah, it's just no. And then the cost of Royal Mail these days. Yeeks. Their argument is we've had to put prices up because people aren't using mail as much these days. They're sending emails instead. And you go, the reason people are using emails more is because you charge so much to post a bloody letter. And I remember when a first class stamp was like 17p, and now they're probably not much far short of a pound. It's like, really? Yeah, send fossils and things back. Yeah, stack of paperwork. Exactly. I mean, I forget what I sent, Mary. I think it was literally like some chocolates and a teddy bear. It was a little box. It didn't weigh hardly anything. And yeah, I think the shipping was, to send it was nearly as much as it cost to put the stuff in it. Like, really? I mean, I was expecting it to be, more than like sending a small parcel in the UK, which I think at the time was £3.95. I was expecting to be a bit more, but I was expecting double figures. But there we go. Another reason I don't do fish sales to the general public. Bloody postage costs. Because I'm pretty sure no one's going to buy a bristle nose for a £5 and then pay £5 postage on it. No, I wouldn't, and that's why I don't buy fish from online. It's not because I have a problem with buying fish online or I don't like the companies or anything like that. It's just if I want to buy a pair of pistos that's like £25, I'm not paying £40 shipping. Sorry. I'd rather get a special ordered in at my LFS and pay a bit more. Don't know how it got through Indian customs. Yeah, so, I'm guessing whoever was on customs duty that day really didn't care. All depends if you've got someone new to the job or someone who's been doing it for 20 years. Because the person who's been doing it 20 years is just like, the person who's new to the job and trying to impress their bosses will be checking every single thing. And also, I think obviously it all gets registered in a computer somewhere. So I think, because I've noticed this with modelling friends of mine, scale modelling friends, because I've ordered a few things from China or wherever in Asia, and it's always turned out absolutely fine, no issue. I've got other friends that have ordered a whole bunch of stuff, and it was fine up until it got to a point, and then they suddenly got started hit with VAT charges on every single parcel they bought in. VAT charges, handling card charges, customs charges on everything. Literally every parcel I had turn up was delayed because they had to pay extra charges on it. Don't check. No, I mean once it's in the UK, they don't check it. No, they assume it's been checked on the way out of the previous country. So I was like, when the parcel I sent to Marriott, it got checked before it left the UK. But then randomly, it also got checked in Norway customs. And Norway might be a bit more up on the ball on these things. So I'm guessing the box probably had about half a dozen layers of tape and different stickers on it by the time it got there. Oh, don't worry about it, Ivy. Life happens, stuff happens. What's going on in your actual reality around you is more important than what's going on the computer screen. Let's put it that way. If you've got actual stuffs to do, then actual stuffs is more important than virtual stuffs. That's how I see it, anyway. That's why I don't expect people to be here every week. Why weren't you here at 6 on the dot? And why didn't you stay both till 8? Do you not support my channel and me? No. No. So I know I've got subscribers who just watch the fishy stuff. I know I've got subscribers who just watch the paranormally, historically stuff. I've even still got subscribers who just watch the modelly stuff. Oh, met your uncle again. Ooh, very interesting. Did have a bit of a moment at work this week. With I'm stood there at the till. There's a colleague sitting on a footstool behind me. Wrong time of the month. I'm like, insert name. Yeah, don't turn around. She's like, why? Like, just don't turn around, okay? trust me on that. I'll let you know when you can. Because I was standing at the sill, so I got the reflection from the glass in the door in front of me, and I could see our Gust Samuel. I could see him walking down the aisle behind her. He wouldn't do anything. No, he's not that kind of a ghost. To be anything, he's probably more worried about her. But I'm like, and then he kind of vanished, and I was like, yeah, it's okay, you can turn around now. Like, he was behind me, wasn't he? Like, yeah. Oh God, no, don't worry. He weren't doing anything bad. He weren't even like leaning over your shoulder and staring down your cleavage. He just walked up behind you and stood there for a second. I'd be here every week if you didn't stream at 5 a.m. I'm really sorry, Mark, but I've had this spot for a good few years now, I think. It's a bad one. You smell rotten fish or meat like things that. Yeah, but generally, if I'm around and there's a smell like rotten fish or meat, that's usually coming out of my back end. I think the only smell one Mary and I have encountered, obviously I've not encountered any because I wouldn't smell it anyway, was up at Deetham Airfield, and I heard a voice from behind my shoulder. I think it was someone telling me to watch out. And then Mary caught a whiff of basically airplane exhausts. So, yeah, basically we were walking down one of the old taxiways. So, chances are there was a B-17 coming up behind us, getting ready to turn onto the runway. It was just someone telling us to look out so we didn't get run over. Typical smell. Whenever I smell it, I just buy myself for safety. So I tend not to worry about the whole safety thing because I get a vibe and a feel of what something is, and I can generally tell straight away if it's something negative or malevolent. Most of the time, it's just curiosity, to be honest. Sammy's done his 245 tea bags. Thought my forehead felt damp. Yeah, so I'm not saying I've not had negative experiences. I have. Last time was Thelverton Church, where something grabbed me around the thigh when I recited the Lord's Prayer. Make of that what you will. There was like, yeah, okay, yeah, this is happening. I'm just going to stay calm. It's not going to do me, Mary, anything any good if I freak out. So I just saying, when we left, we both saw the apparition in the window, and I'd seen it before. Mary had breathing behind her as well. I was thinking it happened under the mango tree and not F around anymore. Yeah. So there's all sorts of stuffs out there. Don't sit under the mango tree with anyone else but me. And so I've encountered shock a few times, and yeah, the first time I ran, but that was only because my friends ran, and I was just like, why are you running? It's one of those, if your friends suddenly start running full sprint, terrified, you follow them. You find out why afterwards. Like if you see the bomb disposal technician running, you run as well. Yeah, times since that I've encountered him, absolutely fine. I think he's more of a protective thing than this demonic hellhound that is made out to be. Um, Although, if you want an interesting one to look into, so there's a couple of videos I saw this week. It's not a new channel, but it's a channel I've recently discovered called The Tape Library. And he does sort of relatively shortish, sort of half hour, generally kind of documentaries about famous hauntings or supernatural or paranormal type and alien type stuff that's happened. But he doesn't go with any of the excess and the folklore and the things that get added to it afterwards. So he covered the Rendlesham Forest incident, which is actually quite local to me. That was an unidentified flying object. And Eolfanog, which is a place in Wales, Heolfanog, and not far from where I did live in Wales, which is why the name, I thought I know that name. And it's basically the Welsh Amityville. It just went on a lot longer. 2 a.m. I was in the nursery in the zoo, saw a little girl under the tree, knew it was something not right. Went there, touched her shoulder. Yes, yes, I stay well away. M&C, how you doing? Thank you very much. Hope all is well. So I'm not saying that everyone should just go, oh, it's something paranormal, I should stay here. If you're not comfortable, leave. It's the safest thing to do, is to get away. But don't panic, don't freak out, just leave. And maybe even apologize for disturbing them. Uh, Instantly started my addiction mantra. I know this, now say it. My tongue, I saw my gin push her back and she changed into an old woman. So I don't have a gin as such. I got that little dude. He's my kind of guardian spirit now, I think. He was my guardian when he was alive, and he still is. And he looks after me. So obviously not feeling too well. When he was alive, he did exactly the same thing. I was having a nap, well, 3 naps today, and yeah, feel him just snuggle up to my belly. This is what he used to do. If he just knew, like, if my knee hurt, he would snuggle my knee. If I had bad back, he'd snuggle my back. If I had a bad head, he'd snuggle my head, belly, whatever. And he still does it. I don't think he follows me around places. I do think he keeps negative energies from coming into the home. Him and Shadow. Because he allowed Shadow in, which is how I knew she wasn't the negative. Getting goosebumps typing it. Don't mess around anymore. It's said something to her I shouldn't have, and it's kind of a challenge. This is it. It's yeah. It's just, as I always say, just be respectful. I'm not overly familiar with Indian folklore and paranormal stuffs, but at least over here, the majority of things people are going to encounter are going to be human. Now, I just approach it the same as I would with a live human. Treat them with respect. You're in their home. Be respectful. Don't go taking a dump in the corner. And I'm sure when you get the shows where they go in, they're like all high energy and amped, and everything's rah, 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 trying to stir things up. I'm sure when they start calling something evil or demonic, like straight away, without any proof, they've just seen or heard something. Um, that's, you know, most people wouldn't like being called evil and demonic. So I'm pretty sure a spirit doesn't either, which probably makes them angry. And then they're likely to do something that you regret. you know, consequences for actions. Treat others as you want to be treated yourself. It's just my way of doing things anyway, and it seems to work okay for me. Well, as I say, yeah, we've encountered negatives. Been calm, just maintain composure, been respectful, apologised, left when we got the feeling that we should be leaving, and nothing really bad has happened. The worst I've had is a scratch on my leg and a bruise on my knee. Aaron gets blessed by my mother, got to speak. Yeah, I do whatever I want. You can't ever hurt me. There is that. They might not be able to physically do something to you, but they might be able to physically manipulate the environment in such a way that you injure yourself. I'm not arrogant as such. I'm experienced, so I don't get to freak out when something happens. To be fair, it's more when I don't notice something in the moment, and then it's something I've recorded, and then I notice it when I'm watching back the recording. Well, when I did the tour around the inside of St Mary's Church in Attleborough, there's two very loud bangs, which I didn't hear when I was walking around. That browned me up a bit more than I'd like to admit, and certainly a lot more than I noticed when I was there. And I noticed there was something that didn't really want me there, which is kind of ironic because when I visited with Mary, quite a while later, the vicar was very, very pleasant and welcoming and great. Whatever or whoever is in there still didn't want me there. Mary could feel something was there, but it didn't not want her there. For some reason, it just didn't like me. Perhaps it's the long hair. Perhaps it was the fact that I was fully aware that it was there, and I'd let it know it was. I knew it was there. That's the other thing I do. If I feel something, get a vibe, a sense, I go, yeah, I know you're here. I can feel your presence. No, not a Darth Vader kind of thing. So yeah, I know you're there. It's okay. Don't panic. I'm not going to do anything silly or bad. I'm just, if you'd like to communicate, that'd be great. If you want to make your presence known, that's fine. And then generally things just calm down. A lot of the time, I'm sure it's just curiosity on their part. But anyway, my time is up. I'm going to have to go and eat something because I'm amazed that you haven't been hearing my stomach rumbling this entire time. So we'll go with the hand with the shorter nails. Have a great week, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Mark, again for the memberships. That's the word. Have a good week. Stay safe. Howdy, Endler. Bye, Endler. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Ah. Squelchy bum do 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 do. Squelchy bum do 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 do. Squelchy bum do 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 do.